I saw it. I watched you do the thing no one asked you to do, and I saw how no one thanked you for it. Do not scroll past this. If you walk away right now, you will spend another year carrying a house that does not notice you. You will miss the exact moment I reach out and take the weight off. My beloved child, you thought your sacrifices were entirely invisible. You are not invisible to me. I have been watching you. I know about the car. You sat in the driveway with the engine turned off for 10 minutes before you opened the door to walk inside. You just sat there in the dark. Your hands were still resting on the steering wheel. You needed those 10 minutes to breathe before you had to be the person who holds everything together for everyone else. No one in that house knew you were sitting out there. They assumed you were just running late. They only know the version of you that walks through the door and fixes every problem. They know the version of you that picks up the mess, pays the bills, and answers the difficult phone calls. They never see the version of you that wants to rest. But I was in the car with you. I felt the heavy sigh you let out before you turned the handle. I saw the exhaustion you carefully hide behind a quiet smile. I am telling you what is coming, and I am telling you tonight because there is no time left to soften it. Stay with me through this message. By the time we are finished here, you will understand exactly why you have been hidden from the applause of people. You will feel the heavy guilt of wanting to rest simply drop from your shoulders, and you will know exactly how to step out of human obligation without ever losing your true calling. Do this one thing for me before we go further. I am asking you to mark your place in this moment. Type, "I am seen," if you are ready to stop hiding in the background. Type it right now. Let this be the very first time you acknowledge that your silent work matters. I read what my children write, and I am reading yours tonight. There is a reason your chest tightened just now. We are going there first, and we are going slowly. There is something I have kept back for you. It is a specific provision held only for the night when no one thanked you. I am going to put it in your hands before this is over. But first I must show you the room you have been standing in. The one who carried it quietly. That is who you have been for a very long time. You are the keeper of a house that never thanks you. You arrange your entire life around making sure no one else has to carry a single drop of your burden. You make everything look effortless. You absorb the stress of the people around you, and you filter it out so they only receive peace. You do it so consistently that the people around you have simply assumed you do not need any help at all. They look at you, and they see a pillar that never shakes. But a pillar does not get asked if it is tired. A pillar is only expected to hold the roof up, and you are so incredibly tired, my child. You are tired in a way that sleeping for 8 hours does not fix. Your bones feel heavy. Your mind is constantly running a list of things that will fall apart if you stop paying attention. You have told yourself that this is just your duty. You believe that love means being the one who suffers quietly so others can thrive. I am not going to let you explain your exhaustion away anymore. I will not let you call yourself weak when your body finally asks for a break. You are not weak. You are carrying a load that was never meant for one pair of shoulders. Let me show you a small piece of what is really happening before we go deeper. Notice what you do when you make one tiny mistake. A spilled cup, a forgotten appointment. You apologize immediately. You rush to fix it before anyone can be inconvenienced by your error. You overcompensate. You believe you are just being responsible. But that frantic rushing is not responsibility. That frantic apology is a defense mechanism. You keep everything perfectly in place so that no one ever has a reason to look closely at you. If they look closely, they might see how exhausted you actually are. Perfection is not your ultimate strength. It is a hiding place. You have used your competence as a shield to keep people from seeing your breaking point. So tonight, I want you to do one small thing differently. Tomorrow, when you drop something or forget a minor detail, do not apologize for it. Do not rush to sweep it away. Let the small mistake sit there. You will see that the world does not end when you are less than perfect. You will survive being seen as human, and that is the first step out of the shadows. You do the work of 3 people every single day. You anticipate every need before anyone even asks. You remember the appointments, the preferences, and the silent worries of everyone in your family. You are constantly pouring yourself out to make them comfortable, but the room goes completely quiet when you are the one who is hurting. No one anticipates your needs. No one steps in to lift the heavy box out of your hands. It feels deeply unfair. You watch people who do far less receive so much more praise. They do one simple task and the whole house celebrates their minimal effort. Meanwhile, you keep the entire foundation from crumbling, and people just walk right over it without offering you a second thought. You have started to wonder if there is something fundamentally wrong with you. You wonder if you are simply unlovable. I am here to tell you that you are deeply loved. Your worth is not defective. The way people treat you is a reflection of their blindness, and it has absolutely nothing to do with your true value. But the pain of being overlooked has started to change you. A quiet bitterness has been slowly gathering in your chest over the last few years, and I know exactly how that bitterness makes you feel about yourself tonight. I hear the objection you would never say aloud. It feels like plain honesty to your tired mind. You are thinking that this message was meant for someone better. You believe it belongs to someone whose hands are cleaner. You think this is for someone who did not lose their temper just yesterday over a completely minor inconvenience. You truly think your frustration disqualifies you from my grace. You remember exactly how you snapped at them. You remember how you closed the door just a little too hard when you walked out of the room. And immediately after that moment, the heavy shame washed over your entire body. You told yourself that a truly faithful person would never act like that. You called yourself a terrible hypocrite. You decided that your sudden moment of anger proved you were failing me. I am not going to tell you that you misremembered your history. I know you lost your peace, but you have completely misread what that sudden anger actually was. That quick flash of temper was not a failure of your character. It was not a sign that your faith is broken. That anger was simply the frantic cry of a completely exhausted soul trying to survive another day. A bridge can only carry so much weight before the thick concrete begins to groan. Your snapping was the sound of the concrete groaning. It was your body begging for someone to notice the crushing pressure you are trying to survive under. I do not look at your extreme exhaustion and call it a terrible sin. I look at your breaking point, and I feel deep compassion for you. The ones who arrive certain of their own perfection bring me nothing I can use. You brought me the honest truth about your breaking point. Do you understand how beautiful that raw honesty is to me? I did not come looking for a finished masterpiece today, because a masterpiece does not need a healer. I came looking for you, and I have never once been confused about exactly who you are. You have prayed about this deep unfairness so many times. You kneel by your bed and ask me why you must always be the strong one. You desperately ask me to send someone to help you carry the heavy load. You weep quietly into your pillow so you do not wake anyone up in the silent house. I have heard every single one of those midnight prayers. I have collected every silent tear. Now we must look closely at why the house treats you this way. You believe they ignore you because you do not matter. You think your silent sacrifices mean absolutely nothing to the people you love. I am going to tell you the hard truth about your current situation. They do not ignore you because you lack value. They ignore you because your absolute competence has trained them to look away. You have made your deep suffering look incredibly easy. You never drop the ball. You never let them see you sweat, because you never let them see the desperate struggle. They genuinely believe there is no struggle happening at all. They do not step in to help because you have built a world where your constant help is the only thing keeping the sky from falling. You have trapped yourself inside your own rigid reliability, and you did it on purpose, long before you realized what it would cost your physical body. There is a deep mechanism running underneath all of this behavior. It is a survival strategy you learned when you were a very young child. I am going to expose it so you can finally step out of its heavy grip. You learned early on that being useful was the only way to be safe. You learned that if you solved every problem, people would have no choice but to keep you around. You tied your entire right to exist to your ability to serve others without complaining. And now you cannot stop serving because you are terrified of what happens when your hands are finally empty. You are completely exhausted, but you are also deeply afraid of resting. You think that if you sit down, the people you love will realize they can survive without your constant intervention. You have confused their heavy dependence on you with actual love. That tragic confusion is the heaviest chain around your neck tonight. But I hold the key to that chain, and I am turning it right now. I am preparing to show you the exact name of this invisible trap. Once you hear its true name, it will completely lose its terrifying power over your daily life. You are going to realize that your invisibility was never a cruel punishment from heaven. It was a lonely shelter you built with your own two hands. Stay exactly where you are, my child. The truth is coming right now. I'm about to show you exactly how this plays out in your daily life, because you have been carrying this invisible shield for decades without even knowing it. Listen carefully to what I am going to describe right now. You organized the entire schedule for the week. You made sure the meals were prepared and the clothes were washed. You paid the heavy bills long before they were actually due, and the whole house walked right past you without a single word of genuine thanks. They simply ate the food and went to sleep as if the house ran itself by magic. But then you forgot one single detail. You missed one minor appointment or misplaced one specific paper. Suddenly, everyone in the house was looking directly at you. They asked you how you could let that happen, and your chest tightened with absolute panic. You apologized profusely for a minor mistake that anyone else in the world could have easily made. You rushed to fix it before anyone could be inconvenienced. You felt like you had failed your family. You walked away from that conversation feeling completely defeated. You told yourself that you are only valued when you are flawlessly useful to others. You truly believe they only notice you when you drop the heavy ball. My beloved child, that is a terrible lie. You are not invisible to the people around you. They do not secretly despise you. They are not waiting for you to fail just so they can fiercely criticize you. That tragic conclusion is born from your deep exhaustion, and I will not let you keep believing it today. Here is the hidden truth about your flawless execution. Flawlessness is essentially a massive wall you build to keep people from worrying about you. When you never drop a single plate, the people around you simply assume the plates are completely weightless. They do not ignore your daily efforts because they do not care about your heart. They ignore your heavy burden because you have effectively convinced them that the burden does not even exist. You have made the impossible look entirely effortless. I am going to name this behavior so you can finally recognize it when it happens. This is the polished hiding place. It is a brilliant strategy for survival that you learned a very long time ago. It keeps you completely safe from sudden criticism because there is absolutely nothing left to criticize. But it also keeps you entirely isolated. You cannot be intimately loved if you never allow yourself to be genuinely seen. And you cannot be seen if you are always hiding behind your own competence. You have taught them that you do not need their help. Whenever they offered to assist you in the past, you politely declined and said you had it under control. You did that because losing control feels terrifying to you. You think that if you ask for help, you will become a massive burden to the people you love. So you stay inside the polished hiding place. You suffer in deep silence while smiling at the dinner table. And then you quietly wonder why no one ever asks how you are really doing. Now look back over the last 10 years of your life with me. Think about those lonely years where you felt like a machine running in the background of your own house. You were not being rejected by the world. You were fiercely protecting yourself. You made yourself so incredibly useful that no one could ever afford to abandon you. That is not a pathetic failure, my child. That is a brilliant defense built by a very tired heart. You did what you had to do to survive a season where you felt deeply unsafe. But the war you were preparing for is completely over. You do not need to earn your permanent place in the room anymore. Your breathless perfection has kept you safe. It kept you safe from rejection, but it has completely starved you of actual connection. You cannot experience grace if you never allow yourself to make a mess. I saw every single time you swallowed your own tears just to keep the evening peaceful for everyone else. Not one of those silent sacrifices was wasted, but I am calling you out today. So today I am giving you a very specific assignment. It is incredibly small, but I know it will feel absolutely terrifying to your nervous system. Tomorrow, you are going to drop a ball on purpose. You are going to forget a minor detail or make a completely harmless mistake. And when someone points it out to you, you will not apologize for it. You will not rush to fix it while sweating with internal panic. You will simply look at them and acknowledge the small mistake calmly. You will say that you are tired and you simply forgot. Let them see your human limitation for the very first time. Let them experience the reality that you are a person who sometimes needs a genuine break. A hiding place loses all its heavy power the moment you step out into the plain light. You are completely allowed to be flawed. You are allowed to be tired. And you are allowed to rest without ever apologizing for it. That is how you break the ancient cycle. That is how you finally let people love the real version of you. Comment. My work is known if you believe I counted every hour they ignored. Remember the hiding place I just named for you. Now let me show you a morning where you are not hiding inside it. Come with me to a morning 6 months from now. It is an ordinary weekday, and the sun is just coming up. You wake up early and step into the kitchen, and you do not immediately start cleaning up the mess someone else left behind. The heavy panic in your chest is simply gone. You do not rush to fix things before the house wakes up. You do not mentally rehearse all the apologies you might need to make today. The crushing need to be perfectly useful is completely absent from the room. You just stand by the window with a warm cup in your hand. You feel entirely safe in your own skin. That peaceful woman is not a distant fantasy. She already exists right now. She is not waiting for a massive miracle to change her circumstances. She is standing on the other side of your desperate need for human approval. She is waiting for you to stop performing for people who never bought a ticket to the show. You can reach her today. The distance to that morning is not measured in years. It is measured in permission. You must give yourself permission to be ordinary. You must say out loud that you are allowed to exist without constantly earning your keep. Say it tonight before you sleep. The morning I just showed you will start walking toward your front door. Now let us look at another heavy truth you carry. You sit on the couch with your phone resting in your lap. You are waiting for it to ring. You just want someone to call and ask how your day was. You want someone to check on you. But the screen stays dark, and when it finally lights up, you already know what the message says. Someone needs a major favor. Someone needs you to fix a problem or lend them money. You answer them immediately. You always do. You give them the advice or the time they demanded. But inside, you feel completely hollow. You put the phone down, and the silence of the room feels incredibly loud. You realize that no one actually cares about your heavy heart. You stare at the wall and you tell yourself a terrible story. You tell yourself that nobody genuinely loves you. You think they only love what you can do for them. You believe you are just a convenient tool that people put back in the drawer when they are finished. You tell yourself that your worth is strictly tied to your utility. My beloved child, that is a cruel lie. You have accepted a tragic deception as the absolute truth. I'm going to tell you exactly why the phone only rings when there is an emergency. The enemy is using your own incredible strength to isolate you from love. People do not check on the foundation of a building unless there is a severe earthquake. They just assume the concrete will always hold. You have been the unshakable foundation for so long that nobody thinks you need support. They look at your calm face and assume you are made of steel. I am going to give this a name so you can clearly see it. This is the unasked question. It is the heavy price you pay for being the strongest person in the entire family. It is a lonely burden. People do not ask how you are doing because your competence has blinded them. Now look back at all those lonely nights with me right now. Think about the years you spent feeling used and abandoned by your friends. You were not being tossed aside because you lacked true value. You were simply suffering from the tragic side effect of your own immense capability. The people around you are completely blind to your exhaustion because you never let them see you stumble. You shielded them from your pain. You absorbed the shockwaves of their messy lives so they could walk on smooth ground. You carried their emotional baggage without ever complaining. You were not an unloved tool. You were a fierce protector. You loved them so much that you made your own needs completely invisible. But a protector still needs a safe place to rest. You cannot keep absorbing the heavy blows without eventually shattering into 1,000 pieces. I never asked you to be a savior. I only asked you to be a faithful servant. There is a massive difference between those two roles. So I am giving you a new instruction for this week. Find one person you actually trust. Just one person. Look them directly in the eyes and tell them you are exhausted. Do not soften the truth. Do not make a joke to lighten the heavy mood. Just say you are tired and you need a quiet moment. Let the words hang in the air. Asking for help does not erase your strength. It simply proves you are human. The unasked question loses its power the moment you finally answer it yourself. You do not have to wait for them to notice your pain. You are allowed to speak up and demand the care you freely give to everyone else. You are still here, and I am listening to every word. It is time to let someone else carry the reality of your exhaustion, because you have carried their heavy expectations for far too many years. Do not swallow the words this time. Let the heavy truth out of your mouth. The sky will not collapse just because you admitted you are deeply tired to someone else. You are still standing here today, and I am closely watching every single step you take as you finally walk out of the shadows. I know there is a heavy sentence you have been holding since long before tonight. You are thinking about the desperate prayers you already prayed in the past. You asked me for help for years. You asked in the way you were taught to ask, and you asked with tears running down your face in the absolute dark, and the room just stayed completely quiet. You concluded that I simply said no to you. You decided that my silence meant I was not paying attention to your daily pain. I will not tell you the room was not quiet. It was incredibly quiet. You did not imagine that deafening silence, and you absolutely did not deserve it. No one has the right to explain your deep pain away with a simple and careless sentence. But silence and refusal are not the exact same thing. A father sitting in the dark beside his sleeping child makes no sound at all. The child might wake up and believe he is completely alone in the big house. He is wrong about the house, but he is certainly not wrong about the scary dark. I am not asking you to call those lonely years good tonight. I am simply asking you to consider that you were never alone inside them. Now we must talk about the heaviest chain you currently wear. Let me describe exactly what happens when you finally have a rare moment to yourself. You sit down on the couch on a normal Saturday afternoon. The house is relatively quiet for once. You have 10 minutes with absolutely nothing demanding your immediate attention. But you cannot just sit there. Almost immediately, a tight feeling creeps into your stomach. You look around the room and suddenly notice the dust on the small table. You remember an email you forgot to send 3 days ago. The guilt of sitting still becomes so loud that you physically have to stand up and find a chore to do. You do this just to make the heavy guilt go away. You literally cannot rest for 10 minutes without feeling like you are doing something terribly wrong. You clean things that are already perfectly clean. You have a very polite explanation for this constant and exhausting motion. You tell yourself that you just like keeping things tidy. You say you are naturally a hard worker who simply hates being idle. You truly believe I created you to be a machine that constantly produces value for other people. My beloved child, that is a devastating misunderstanding of who I actually am. I did not breathe life into your lungs just so you could wash dishes and solve crises until your physical body completely breaks down. I did not design your precious soul to be an endless engine of utility. You are not a human doing. You are a human being. And your inability to sit still is not a sign of your great discipline. It is a sign of a very deep wound that needs my gentle healing. Here is the hidden truth about your relentless hustle. When affection during your childhood comes with the strict condition of being useful, a child learns a terrible lesson. That child learns that resting is incredibly dangerous. If you are not producing value, you might be completely discarded by the people you love. You tied your entire right to exist to your ability to serve others without ever stopping. You learn that rest is not a free gift. You learn that rest is a heavy debt you have to pay off with massive amounts of physical labor. I am going to name this invisible whip so you can finally stop running from it. This is the earned rest. It drives you out of your comfortable chair and forces you to scrub clean floors. It makes you feel completely worthless the moment your tired hands stop moving. Now look back at all those years you spent running yourself into the ground. You called it deep dedication. You called it being the highly responsible one in your chaotic family. You were not just being responsible, my child. You were desperately trying to pay rent for your space on this earth. You were secretly trying to buy love with your endless utility and sacrifice. You gave everything away just to secure your spot. Every time you pushed through a terrible fever to cook a warm meal, you were trying to prove you deserved to stay. You have never been lazy. You have been running a marathon with no finish line because you thought the prize was my ultimate approval. I already gave you my approval before you ever lifted a single finger. Your exhausting hustle did not buy you anything you did not already own. So I'm giving you a new rule for your life today. It is going to feel completely wrong to your nervous system at first. Tomorrow afternoon, you are going to sit in a quiet chair for 10 minutes. You will not look at a glowing screen. You will not fold a single piece of laundry. You will just sit there and let the heavy panic wash over your entire body without moving a single muscle. Do not explain yourself to anyone. Do not ask for permission to take up space in your own house. When the sudden panic tells you to get up and be useful, you will tell the panic, no. 10 minutes of doing absolutely nothing is how you break the heavy chains of the earned rest. You belong in the room even when your hands are completely empty. Your simple existence is more than enough for me. Which tired are you? Tell me below, so I can speak to the right one. Once you finally learn to sit in that quiet chair, something profound begins to shift inside your very tired heart. The heavy chains of utility start to break apart. You see that the sky did not fall today. Your hands stopped moving and the world kept spinning. And this beautiful realization prepares you for the massive freedom I actually planned for your life from the very beginning. Remember the heavy hiding place I named for you earlier. Now come with me and look at an ordinary evening where you are no longer hiding inside that heavy fortress. Picture a quiet dinner at your own table 6 months from now. The hot food is ready and the people you love are sitting around you, and you are just sitting there with them. Someone drops a metal fork on the hard floor. A clear glass of cold water is completely empty, and your tired body does not instinctively lunge out of the comfortable chair to fix the tiny problem for them. You do not rush to the kitchen to grab a towel. You just sit calmly and wait for someone else to clean the minor mess. Someone else stands up and pours the cold water. Someone else wipes the floor and tells you to keep eating. You do not apologize for letting them serve you today. The crushing need to be the only capable person in the entire room is completely absent from your peaceful mind. You simply smile and enjoy the warm meal. That peaceful evening is not a distant and impossible fantasy. That beautiful woman already exists in the world right now. She is not waiting for your family to suddenly change their entire personalities overnight. She is standing on the exact opposite side of your desperate need to control every single detail of the environment. She is waiting for you to allow other people to carry their own weight. I have watched this happen 10,000 times in 10,000 different houses. I know exactly how this familiar story always goes. It always follows the exact same predictable and exhausting sequence. First comes the relentless striving, and then comes the crushing exhaustion that forces you to your knees in the dark. And only after the exhaustion does the true opening finally arrive. Every single person believes their own specific case is the rare exception. They all think their family will literally starve if they do not manage every detail. Every one of them was incredibly wrong about that terrifying and isolating assumption. And every single one of them walked out of their heavy prison the moment they stopped carrying the burden alone. You are absolutely no different from any of them. You have completed the striving, and you have certainly survived the exhaustion. You have been standing at the final opening for longer than you actually know. The only thing keeping you from walking through the open door is the familiar and constant noise in your head. The noise tells you that resting is incredibly selfish. It tells you that you are highly irresponsible. The noise of the world is loud enough to sound exactly like my absence. But the loud noise is absolutely not my gentle voice. I never told you to set yourself on fire just to keep other people warm. I never asked you to buy their fragile affection with your endless physical labor and your constant daily emotional sacrifice. Your simple presence is the only gift I ever asked for. Let them keep their old opinion of who you used to be. Let them keep the old version of the story where you are the only one who cleans up the messes. You were never asked to carry their account of your life. You are only responsible for your own fragile soul. I am lifting their heavy expectations off your back right now. Once you understand this plain truth, you cannot possibly unsee it. Understanding the hidden mechanism is not the final destination. Understanding is merely the wide doorway to your true and lasting freedom. Let the powerful realization settle deep in your chest for one long and uninterrupted breath before we go any further. Then let me show you what this new freedom actually makes possible. Everything I have said to you up to this exact sentence was just preparation. We have spent the last 30 minutes pulling up the heavy weeds. We cleared the hard soil so the real truth could finally be planted today. The ground has been thoroughly prepared by your honest tears and your silent suffering over the past few long years. Now I speak directly over that prepared ground. Lift your heavy head right now and look at me. What comes next is not gentle or comforting information. It is a defining moment that will alter your path. I have been deliberately walking you toward one specific realization this entire time, and we have finally arrived at it. Breathe once before you hear the final piece of the puzzle. This is where most people go quiet with relief and completely stop walking. Do not stop walking when you are this close to the end. The heavy knot around your tired heart is finally loose. Now I will show you the massive blessing that was tied up inside it all along while you were waiting. I need you to stand up on the inside right now. You have been answering to the wrong name for over 30 years. You let the world define your worth by counting the heavy boxes you carried. That false and totally exhausting identity ends completely today. I am preparing to call you by your true and holy name, and when you hear it, the old agreements will shatter. Are you absolutely ready to hear your true name today? You look around at the heavy house you built. You think that if you drop even one tiny piece, the entire roof will instantly collapse. You are absolutely terrified of letting go. You honestly believe your constant exhaustion is the absolute glue keeping your fragile family intact. But the world does not spin on your aching shoulders. It will not end if you finally rest. You wake up every single morning and immediately scan the room for potential disasters. You fix the problems before anyone else even notices they exist. You think this frantic control is the only way to keep the peace in the house. You tell yourself that you are incredibly vital to their daily survival. But deep inside, you feel completely empty and entirely alone. No one ever turns around to ask how you manage the immense pressure. You secretly feel completely invisible and totally unvalued by everyone around you, as if your entire existence is only measured by how much you produce. You believe you are just a convenient machine that everyone uses and ignores. You think you are completely unimportant because they never applaud your silent work. I am completely shattering that devastating lie today. You are not a lifeless machine built for their convenience. You are deeply important to me. Listen to me carefully right now. Your extreme exhaustion does not come from the heavy weight I personally gave you. It comes from the heavy weight you were absolutely never given. You picked up their daily choices and their angry moods. You carried their massive failures and their harsh words as if they rightfully belonged to you. You started carrying heavy things that belong strictly to other people. You assumed that if you did not carry them, everything would instantly fall apart into pieces. I am naming this so you can permanently drop it. This is the borrowed load. It has your tired fingerprints all over it, but I never handed it to you in the first place. Being overlooked by careless people was never being unseen by me. They always look for shiny decorations that catch the bright light. But you were placed as a massive and foundational pillar in the dark. A foundational pillar is rarely praised by the people who walk past it, but the entire house safely stands because the pillar holds steady. Now look back at those long and quiet years. Look at the thousands of silent acts of fierce protection you freely gave to them. You were not wasting your precious life in the dark corners of that house. You were doing holy work that no one else was strong enough to do. I saw every single silent tear. I counted them all. The people in that house may have treated you like a convenient ghost, but I treated you like a fierce warrior holding the line against the dark. You did not fail. You simply spent your valuable energy keeping their broken pieces together. Your silent sacrifices were entirely visible to heaven. Not one single hour was ever wasted in my sight. Every time you got up anyway, I saw it. Every time you spoke gently to someone who had not earned it, I saw it. Every time you kept a quiet promise no one was checking on, I saw it. None of it went unwitnessed by my eyes. I was standing in the exact same room with you while you bled for them in total silence. You will stop performing for human applause today. You will rest entirely in my total and complete recognition of your pure heart. You do not need their fragile validation to know you are deeply important and uniquely cherished. Your immense value is firmly secured in my sight. You are a holy vessel of honor. The time has finally come to release the heavy burden you picked up out of pure love. You must return the responsibilities that actually belong to them. They are absolutely responsible for their own daily choices. They must carry the heavy consequences of their own careless actions. You cannot save people from lessons they desperately need to learn on their own. Let them drop their own heavy plates tomorrow. Let them feel the heavy weight of their own daily responsibilities. You are stepping out of the exhausting role of the silent savior. You are stepping into the deep peace of simply being my beloved child. You will no longer manage the entire universe for them. Hear me where you make your daily decisions. You were never behind, and you were never the forgotten one who missed out on the final blessing. The exhausting assignment is completely over. I am ending the argument today. I am not softening it. I am completely ending it. You are not their savior. You are exactly where I need you. Now open your tired hands. Put the heavy load down on the solid floor and leave it there. Do not pick it back up when they loudly complain about the mess. Look directly at me right now. Say it out loud. I am completely seen. I am deeply loved. I am entirely free from their expectations. Hear this before you go. There is a terrible cost to spending another year living as a ghost in your own home. It is not a cost anyone will send you an invoice for. It is paid quietly, in the pieces of your soul that you slowly surrender every time you beg for their validation. I am not warning you about an angry enemy tonight. I am warning you about a devastating habit. If you leave this message and go back to earning their applause, you will lose the profound peace I just handed to you. Do not underestimate the silent destruction of this routine. You think you are just keeping the peace. You think you are being the bigger person by staying quiet and absorbing the heavy blows. You are actually erasing your own existence. Every time you swallow your own voice to keep them comfortable, a small piece of your spirit dies. I did not breathe life into your lungs so you could be a convenient stepping stone for other people. Stand up. You have convinced yourself that they will eventually notice your pain. You think that if you just work a little harder, they will finally turn around and give you the deep appreciation you are starving for. That is a cruel illusion. The more you quietly absorb their stress, the more they will expect you to absorb it. The heavy cycle does not end when they suddenly become grateful. The cycle only ends when you finally refuse to participate in it. Serving your family out of pure love is holy. Serving them out of a desperate need to be noticed is completely destroying you from the inside out. Your physical body is already keeping a meticulous score of every single time you swallowed your own needs. The aches in your joints and the sudden panic in your chest are the direct result of living as a highly functional shadow. You cannot survive another decade of pretending you do not have any needs. Now come here, sit down. I want to say the rest of this to you quietly. That was the loudest I will be with you today. Everything after this is closer and softer. You do not need to fight for your place in the room anymore. You do not need to perform a dozen miracles before breakfast just to prove you are worthy of breathing the air. You are completely exhausted because you keep waiting for a standing ovation that is never going to come. Stop waiting for it. Their applause is incredibly cheap, and it fades the exact moment you stop producing value for them. My deep love for you does not fade. It does not depend on how many heavy boxes you carried today. My love is a permanent and immovable mountain. You have spent your entire adulthood trying to convince people that you are indispensable. I am telling you that you are irreplaceable, and those are two entirely different things. I have said everything I came to say tonight. What happens next is not mine to do. It is entirely yours. Right now, you are someone who heard a comforting message in the dark. In just a few minutes, you can become someone who actually stepped out of the heavy shadows and claimed their freedom. Those are two entirely different people, and the second person is much harder to manipulate when the sun comes up tomorrow morning. This is not a meaningless ritual. It is simply how you solidify the truth in your own mind. When you take a physical step, the heavy chains lose their grip on your spirit. I am not asking you for money, and I am not giving you a massive task that will drain your remaining energy. I am just asking you to pass the light forward. A truth that is kept entirely in the dark can still be argued with by your anxious mind. A truth that is shared becomes an absolute anchor. Let the words rest now. I want to speak to you the way a loving father speaks at the end of a very long and difficult day. Put the heavy armor down, my beloved child. This last part is not an instruction for you to vigorously study. It is a holy blessing for you to quietly receive. You came in here carrying a crushing responsibility that you had completely stopped noticing. You are not walking out with it. I have permanently taken it from your bruised shoulders. What you are walking out with is infinitely lighter and beautifully profound. You are walking out with the solid knowledge that your silent sacrifices were completely witnessed by heaven. You will no longer measure your daily worth by your massive exhaustion. You will stop performing for human applause, and you will finally rest entirely in my endless recognition. The invisible tears you cried in the car were gathered by my own hands. I am placing a profound peace over your anxious mind right now. Let the frantic spinning of your thoughts slowly come to a complete stop. You do not need to figure out how to change your entire family dynamic by tomorrow morning. You only need to accept that you are entirely safe in my hands today. The heavy performance is officially over. The curtain has dropped, the audience has gone home, and you are entirely loved in the empty room. You will sleep tonight without anxiously rehearsing tomorrow's endless apologies. You will wake up and serve the people you love from a place of deep freedom, not from a place of desperate fear. Someone in your family line will live a completely different life because of the heavy chains you absolutely refused to pass down today. The ancient cycle of furiously working for love stops in your house tonight. I told you earlier that there was one final name I had for you. I promised I would not let you leave without hearing it. The last name I call you is the heir. An heir does not work for their place in the house. They do not clean the floors to earn their father's love. They simply inherit the kingdom. You are my precious heir. Now go, not quickly. Walk out of here, the way a person walks, when they have finally stopped auditioning for a place they already belong to. I am with you in the car. I am with you in the quiet kitchen. Send this to the one person who carries too much and never complains. Tell them I saw them too. Go.